Welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling when you open up the spoilers for Genoa City and realize the plot isn't just moving, it's accelerating into pure, delightful chaos.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly the situation we're looking at today.
It really is. Our unique source material, and we've got a trove of detailed spoilers and recaps focused on the week of September 8th in The Young and the Restless. It paints this landscape just defined by, well, corporate collapse, criminal secrets, and some sudden, intense romance.
It's a perfect storm, really. Definitely. So our mission for you, the learner, is pretty essential today. We need to cut through all that noise and deliver the full, nuanced picture. We're going to extract the three core, high-impact storylines that are defining where these characters are heading right now. And there are some surprising facts in here.
Absolutely. We promise those surprising facts, a necessary dose of historical context, because you always need that in Genoa City, right?
Always. Context is everything.
And a deep analytical look at the high-stakes maneuvering that's going to leave you perfectly informed on the trajectory of Genoa City's biggest players. So, yeah, get ready, because the gloves are off and the secrets are spilling.
And that acceleration you mentioned right at the top, that's really key here. If you look at the material for this week, it feels less like standard soap opera drama and more like a kind of synchronized demolition derby.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, everything is collapsing, like simultaneously. But for three very different reasons, we can pretty cleanly divide this action into, let's say, three spheres.
Okay.
First, you've got the complete professional disaster facing Sally Spectra. This is centered on the launch of her big new venture, Abbott.com. And this isn't just, a failure. It feels like an engineered catastrophe.
Targeted.
Exactly. Second, we have this explosive personal confrontation. It basically forces the exposure of a highly illegal secret connecting Claire, Audra, and the pretty much unwitting Holden Novak in this tight criminal triangle.
Okay, that sounds juicy.
Oh, it is. And finally, offering a really crucial emotional counterpoint, we track the surprising and actually kind of genuine romantic pivot for Daniel Romalotti and Tessa Porter. It proves that even in Genoa City's darkest moments, sometimes a new connection can form.
A little bit of hope, maybe?
Maybe a little. Okay, let's unpack this. And I think we have to start with the professional ruin, the corporate stuff.
Yeah, let's zoom right in on Sally Spectra. Here's a woman who, climbed the Genoa City ranks through sheer will and, let's be honest, her fashion sense. She's the CEO of Abbott.com, which, just for context, is the media company jointly started by Billy Abbott and Jack Abbott, hence the Abbott part of the name.
Right, it's their venture.
And Sally has fought tooth and nail for this CEO title. So she treated this big 1950s-themed launch party at Society not just as like a business event, but really as her personal coronation. This was her moment. And the level of detail the sources give us about her planning really highlights just how devastating this sabotage ends up being for her. I mean, she meticulously arranged everything. The vintage decor, the specific menu, the guest list, all of it aimed at making this massive, polished splash to announce Abbott.com's legitimacy to the market. Total statement event.
Exactly. So when she walks in with Billy, her boyfriend, also her business partner in this, she's expecting the room to be buzzing, a testament to her success, her future.
But the reality is just shocking. They announced their entrance, expecting the flash bulbs, the applause, the whole celebratory atmosphere.
And nothing.
They are completely blindsided by an empty room. The entire venue is devoid of guests, devoid of decorations. It's just stark. This is the definition of professional humiliation delivered very, very publicly. It's an incredible gut punch. Sally is described specifically as being horrified and blindsided, and her immediate quote, it just perfectly captures that sudden crushing reality that all her immense effort has been completely negated.
Yeah.
She says, wait, whoa, hold on. Everything was supposed to be decked out. Where is everybody? She has no idea yet.
No clue. She doesn't realize yet that the event wasn't simply canceled, it was methodically destroyed.
And the one person there to witness her complete downfall, just sitting casually at the bar, is Kane Ashby, the solitary figure.
The perpetrator.
Yeah. And Kane, completely nonchalant, is just delivering peak Genoa City villainy with his opening line. He says, hey guys, glad you both made it. I was starting to get worried. Ugh, the nerve. He's mocking them.
Totally mocking their failure. And the analysis has to start with why. Why Kane? He doesn't even work for Abbott.com. Why has he taken this action?
Right. What's his angle here?
Well, this stunt is the immediate fallout of an ongoing high-stakes power game. See, Kane just blew up at Phyllis Summers because she's always the reliable agent of chaos. Right?
Always Phyllis.
Always Phyllis. She exposed his lie to Lily Winters. Kane had been trying to reconcile with Lily, claiming he was, done with the takeover stuff, all the corporate espionage.
Trying to be the good guy again.
Trying. But Phyllis revealed he was lying, which completely destroyed his progress with Lily and just fueled Kane's fury against her. So now he is adamant, he will never, ever work with Phyllis again, even if it means fighting alone.
Okay, so he's mad at Phyllis.
Yeah.
But sabotaging Sally's launch. How does that connect?
Well, this action isn't just about Phyllis or Lily. It's fundamentally about Victor Newman, the ultimate puppet master in Genoa City.
Ah, there it is.
There it is. Even though Kane doesn't want to align with Victor to target Jabot or the Abbotts, he is absolutely trapped by Victor's formidable blackmail leverage.
Blackmail. Okay, what's the leverage?
And this is where we need to really delve into the details of that leverage, because it's such a crucial component of Kane's motivation right now. Victor is leveraging the criminal activities of Kane's father, Colin Atkinson.
Colin, of course. What now?
Victor is threatening to leak some really devastating information to the press regarding Colin conning a specific lady out of her inheritance.
Oh, that sounds bad. Even for Colin.
It does. Now, while the source material is apparently clear that Colin did ultimately inherit the money, the devil is in the details of how he acquired it.
The methods weren't exactly above board, I'm guessing.
Seems like it. The specifics Victor holds could permanently taint Kane's family name, especially given Kane's ongoing efforts to restore his own professional reputation after, years of double-dealing himself.
Right, he's been trying to clean up his act.
Exactly. So if Victor leaks this, Kane is irrevocably branded as the son of a con artist who potentially defrauded an elderly woman. It destroys any chance of a clean slate in Genoa City for him.
So Kane is completely stuck. He won't join Victor, but he can't disobey Victor without facing public ruin.
Yeah.
This launch sabotage, then, it feels like his chosen middle ground.
That's a good way to put it. It's a major offensive against the Abbotts, which satisfies Victor's demand for disruption, right? But it's executed in a way that doesn't necessarily commit Kane to Victor's overall alliance. Not yet, anyway.
It's like a proxy war. He's trying to placate the monster.
While trying to avoid becoming the monster himself.
Yeah.
And the sources suggest Kane is actually going to confess to at least some of this new plan next week, which indicates he has a broader strategy beyond just, canceling one party. Okay, so the core question becomes, what is the plan? Is Kane trying to secure control of Abbott.com for himself, maybe as like a defensive measure, to keep the company out of Victor's direct grasp? That's one possibility.
Or is this just the first step in positioning himself to completely destroy the company? Which, okay, that would placate Victor by hurting the Abbotts, but it would absolutely ruin Sally in the process.
And that brings us directly to the potential for a massive betrayal involving Billy.
Billy Abbott, always a wild card.
He is notoriously impulsive, and he has such a long history of corporate instability. He tends to be drawn to schemes that involve, both instant gratification and revenge against Victor.
His two favorite things, basically.
Pretty much. So if Kane can successfully dangle revenge on Victor in front of Billy, and Billy has been battling Victor for decades, Billy's focus might shift entirely, away from Sally, away from Abbott.com's success.
And Kane has an even bigger, potentially more meaningful lure for Billy, doesn't he? Something that appeals directly to Billy's identity.
Yeah.
The Chancellor connection.
Exactly. For you, the listener who knows the history, Chancellor Industries is Billy's birthright. It was founded by his grandmother, Catherine Chancellor, passed through Jill Abbott. That company has been Kane's and Billy's primary battleground for years.
It represents legacy, power, real corporate worth.
Yeah, unlike the sometimes ephemeral nature of a new media venture like Abbott.com. So if Kane structures a deal that offers Billy control over a significant piece of Chancellor in exchange for sabotaging Abbott.com and joining him,
Billy might take it.
The sources suggest Billy might not only take the deal, he might even convince himself he's doing it for the greater good, or at least his own greater good.
Wow. That's a heartbreaking level of potential betrayal for Sally. She views Billy as her biggest champion right now.
She does, but Billy, if the offer is good enough, and if it wraps his history with his future ambitions regarding Chancellor, he could absolutely betray Sally and tank the media company in a heartbeat.
So this whole situation just confirms that critical rule of Genoa City corporate life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The biggest, most personal, professional dreams like Sally's launch, they always get caught in the collateral damage of these generational conflicts. Sally's 1950s launch party wasn't just canceled by Kane, it was canceled by the weight of Victor Newman's 5-decade feud with everyone, powered by a decades-old crime committed by Kane's father.
That is the cost of ambition in this town. Wild. Okay, let's shift gears. From corporate sabotage to something even darker. Yeah, moving from the devastation of corporate intrigue to what sounds like an equally high-stakes disaster involving personal secrets. We shift focus entirely now to a fiery confrontation that occurs between three specific characters: Claire Grace Newman, Audra Charles, and Holden Novak.
And Holden's kind of caught in the middle.
Right.
And this segment honestly provides some of the most critical information we've received in months. The immediate setting is, yeah, a verbal brawl, but the underlying tension is just enormous. And while Holden tries to act as a referee initially,
Doesn't last long.
no, it's quickly clear he is deeply invested and decidedly Team Claire.
Okay, so how does it start? Audra usually fires the first shot, right?
Always. Audra, prone to launching the first missile, starts by attacking Claire. She starts talking trash about Claire spending time with Holden, claiming Claire had a drink or 2 or 5 with him.
Subtle. Not at all. Then she pivots to what she knows will hurt most. She says she hopes Claire dumps Kyle Abbott because, in Audra's words, he is a liar and a cheater. Ouch. Hitting below the belt there.
But Claire is maybe the most strategic fighter in the room. She doesn't just defend herself, she immediately turns Audra's own history against her. Claire fires back, referencing Audra's terrible track record, specifically pointing out that Nate Hastings, Audra's ex, dumped her precisely because she did that dirty deal with Victor Newman and then lied to Nate about her involvement.
Oh, the irony is just palpable there. Audra attacking Claire for being involved with the cheater, Kyle, when Audra's own relationship was destroyed by her corporate duplicity and dishonesty.
Exactly. It's a perfect clapback. And Audra, feeling cornered, then turns her aggression onto Holden himself. Her ex, accusing him of using old pickup lines on Claire. But Holden, who has clearly moved on and is crushing pretty hard on Claire, immediately tells Audra to back off. He is officially taking sides, protecting Claire from Audra's verbal assault.
Okay, so Holden's clearly into Claire. The confrontation escalates from there.
It does. The verbal barbs get sharper. Claire, who the sources note was a bit tipsy, resorts to calling Audra, a harsh name. But Audra, as she often does, saves her most dangerous weapon for last. She goes nuclear.
What does she do? She exposes Claire's past manipulation. Audra throws Claire's notorious, violent past right back in her face. The time she tried to poison the entire Newman family, whoa, she went there.
She went there. This wasn't just some corporate scheme. This was attempted mass harm. Audra suggests, quote, maybe Kyle should be the one to open his eyes about Claire and not the other way around.
Okay, that is brutal.
It is. And this leads to a really important distinction that the source material emphasizes. While Audra is a known schemer, a manipulator in business and romance, the analytical perspective suggests Claire is actually the dangerous one when compared to Audra.
Because of the poisoning attempt.
Yeah.
The capacity for violence.
Exactly. Claire has that history of violence and these deep-seated grudges, yet there's also that tantalizing hint that Audra also carries something a little dangerous in her own past. This kind of mutual recognition of darkness makes their rivalry particularly volatile.
Like they both know the other is capable of anything.
Pretty much. The fight ends with Claire storming out, and Holden, completely invested now, immediately chases after her. He clearly wants nothing more to do with Audra, reinforcing his shift in romantic interest toward Claire.
And that immediate chase, that sets the stage for the really crucial information drop that follows, right?
Absolutely. And that drop happens next week when Holden and Claire meet in the park. This is where we finally get the specifics on the incident in LA, this mystery that has been hinted at, whispered about for, 8 or 9 months, ever since Holden arrived in Genoa City.
Okay, this is it. This is the moment the deep dive pays off. What's the secret?
Holden admits it. He admits that the LA incident involved him helping Audra take care of something while she was working with Tucker McCall.
Tucker McCall. That already sounds shady.
Right. This something was apparently a serious jam that Audra needed discreet and potentially damaging help getting out of. Claire, strategic as ever, demands full disclosure. She pushes him.
And does he get it?
And Holden delivers. The sources confirm that what Holden and Audra did in Los Angeles wasn't completely legal.
Not completely legal.
It's explicitly defined as criminal activity. Think about the gravity here. Holden, who tries to present himself as the stable, reasonable voice, is confessing to participating in a crime involving Audra and the often shady Tucker McCall.
Wow. Okay. What kind of crime are we talking? Any hints?
Not specific details on the crime itself, but given Tucker and Audra's involvement in high-stakes finance and corporate games back then, this could easily involve illegal transactions, maybe covering something up, even destroying evidence related to some scheme.
It's like serious.
Whatever it was significant enough to potentially land them both in jail or, at the very, very least, destroy their careers and reputations if it came out.
Okay, so Claire hears this, and she's always thinking 3 steps ahead. What does she do? She immediately zeroes in on what matters. She starts asking the critical questions. Is Holden trying to protect Audra by keeping this secret all this time, or is he primarily trying to protect himself? Or, and this is maybe the most Claire-like thought, does he believe that by confessing to her, Claire, he is somehow securing her protection, like putting himself in her hands?
Exactly. But Holden's reaction seems purely emotional, at least initially. His primary fear is that Claire won't look at him the same way if she learns the truth about the illegal act he committed in his past with Audra.
He's afraid of her judgment.
Deeply afraid of rejection. Despite this profound fear, he is expected to be honest next week, pouring out this devastating secret to her. He's basically placing his trust, and maybe his freedom, squarely in the hands of the woman who once tried to poison his entire family.
The irony is just staggering. Okay, so that dynamic immediately raises the monumental blackmail angle.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this secret big enough and dirty enough, which it absolutely is, being criminal, for Claire to use as leverage?
Definitely. And she has 2 really powerful options right now.
Okay, option 1.
She shares this information with Kyle Abbott. Kyle is obsessed, completely obsessed with getting Audra out of Genoa City. He views her as this malignant corporate influence. Giving Kyle genuine criminal proof of Audra's past, that would be the ultimate weapon for him.
He could use it to force her out of Newman Media, maybe even out of town entirely?
Could be. Option 2.
Claire uses the information herself. By keeping Holden's confidence, by controlling the secret, she gains immense leverage over both Audra and Holden.
How so?
Well, Audra will be paralyzed by fear of exposure, right?
Yes.
And Holden will be eternally bound to Claire, maybe out of gratitude for her silence, maybe out of fear that she might still reveal his criminal past if he steps out of line.
Wow, so she holds all the cards. This situation raises an important question then. Who will Claire choose to leverage this highly sensitive, potentially criminal information against?
Her enemy, Audra, maybe via Kyle, which helps her adversarial goals.
Right, or her burgeoning romantic interest, Holden, by ensuring his loyalty, which benefits her personal life.
Knowing Claire, the strategic operator.
The strategic operator in Claire suggests she might try to use the information to achieve both, somehow destroying Audra while ensuring Holden owes her everything. It's a dangerous game she's playing.
Incredibly dangerous. Okay, wow. That's a lot. We need a breather. Maybe something less legal. It is almost a necessity in Genoa City, isn't it? That every time the chaos level reaches its peak, you've got corporate espionage, blackmail, criminal secrets. A strong, maybe hopeful emotional story emerges to balance the scales.
Yeah, you almost need it just to catch your breath.
Totally. So after navigating the high-stakes world of illegal secrets, we turn now to Daniel Romolotti and Tessa Porter, who seem to be finding some harmony amidst all the discord. And this is a needed palate cleanser, for sure. Their storyline is moving with remarkable speed and clarity, actually. Tessa has already delivered the painful but pretty definitive news. Her marriage to Mariah Copeland is pretty much over. That was confirmed then.
Yeah, she stated it quite clearly. And to fully appreciate Tessa's state right now, we probably need a little context. Tessa and Mariah's relationship, it's been struggling for a while with emotional distance, maybe some neglect.
Things fell off for a long time.
Yeah, and when a core relationship starts to break down like that, the self-doubt creeps in. Meanwhile, Daniel, who's going through his own transitions, getting his life back on track, he's confessed to his dad, the legendary Daniel Romolotti, that he has developed deep feelings for Tessa. So the emotional landscape, it feels like it's been cleared for them to move forward without the guilt of interfering in an active, healthy marriage.
The timing feels right, even if it came out of heartache for Tessa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the catalyst for their relationship developing now is perfectly fitting for 2 artistic people. It's music.
Ah, okay.
The upcoming wedding of Daniel's father, Danny, to Christine Blair, Cricket provides the stage. And this is a monumental event in Genoa City history. Danny and Cricket have this decades-long tumultuous history. So this wedding is a major moment of closure and commitment for 2 of the town's most iconic figures.
A really big deal wedding.
Huge deal. And Daniel is not just attending, he's been asked to be the best man. which signals, he's deeply invested in his father's
That's
happiness.
sweet.
Yeah, and what better way for him to express that familial bond and maybe his own new artistic energy than by playing a song at the ceremony?
Okay, so he writes a song for the wedding.
It seems like it. And this song becomes the crucial piece of evidence for their growing bond, Daniel and Tessa's. When Daniel plays it for Tessa, she is described as being floored, just completely blown
He
away.
loves it.
Loves it. She tells him how incredibly proud Danny will be. And this feels like more than just, appreciating a nice tune. She's experiencing the emotional weight and the sincerity of his creation
She connects with it.
deeply. And the analysis strongly suggests this connection is so strong that Tessa will almost certainly be Daniel's wedding plus one,
Okay, making it public.
which is an important public signal in the soap opera world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It moves their relationship from just a private understanding to a public declaration, right there in front of the entire Genoa City establishment, including all the powerful families.
That's a statement.
It is. And what truly solidifies their emotional foundation, it seems, is the aspect of shared creation. Daniel is explicitly giving Tessa credit for the song. He tells her she came up with the lyrics and the melody, that she turned his raw chords into something beautiful.
So it wasn't just his song. It was theirs.
It's not just his art, it's their collaboration, which perfectly represents the kind of beautiful synergy may be developing in their relationship.
That's really lovely.
And then Daniel takes the declaration a step further, eliminating any ambiguity about his feelings. He offers this direct, powerful compliment, stating, quote, "The song is beautiful like Tessa."
Wow, okay. No mistaking that.
No. It is a clear, unambiguous declaration of romantic feeling wrapped up in artistic appreciation. Direct.
And how does Tessa respond to that?
Well, her response speaks volumes about her recent emotional state. She is described as being very touched by Daniel's sincerity, and she notes that this validation is probably really good for her ego after enduring that prolonged period of, feeling ignored by Mariah.
So Daniel isn't just a rebound. He's providing something she really needed.
Exactly. He's providing the positive reinforcement and the emotional visibility she desperately needed at this moment.
So maybe we can use that analogy of the music to kind of summarize their situation.
Yeah, I think that works well.
Tessa's marriage to Mariah has sort of become a series of broken chords, right? Discordant, incomplete, unresolved.
Yeah, the harmony was gone.
Right. And Daniel's involvement, his presence, his collaboration, maybe helped her take those elements of pain and transition them into this new, harmonious melody, signifying emotional healing and the promise of a potentially stable, supportive partnership.
It's the perfect, hopeful counterpoint to all the high-stakes destruction happening everywhere else in Genoa City this week.
Definitely needed that bit of light.
Yep.
Okay, so we've covered corporate catastrophe, criminal secrets, and now this budding romance. Let's try and bring it all together. Hashtag tagged outro.
Yeah, we have covered immense ground in this deep dive. We've moved across the full spectrum of high-stakes Genoa City drama. We started with the financial and professional destruction of Sally Spectra's launch party, engineered by Kane Ashby.
Who's trapped by Victor Newman's leverage.
Exactly, leverage over that old Colin Atkinson inheritance secret. Then we plunged right into these life-altering criminal secrets, watching Holden Novak confess the illegal incident in L.A. involving Audra and Tucker.
Confessing it to Claire, of all people.
To the strategically dangerous Claire. And finally, we kind of rose to the surface of emotional regeneration, observing Daniel and Tessa's shared music and their mutual admiration, solidifying this new beginning for them, perhaps symbolized by that highly anticipated wedding performance.
So for you, the listener, you should now have a really comprehensive understanding of the current power dynamics and the emotional fault lines running through Genoa City right now.
And the central theme unifying all three of these arcs is just inescapable, isn't it?
It really is. Whether it's a decades-old corporate rivalry like Victor versus everyone, or a past criminal deed buried in L.A., or even just an emotional failure in a marriage, nothing is ever contained.
It always bleeds over.
Always. Personal grudges bleed into launch parties, they force devastating truths out in budding relationships, and they perpetually reshape the landscape of power. The past is never, ever just the past in this town.
Ever dead, not even past, as they say.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for the immediate future? Here's the final provocative thought, based on everything we've unpacked. We know Holden is terrified. Claire will view him differently after confessing the criminal truth about L.A. And yet, we also know Claire is the one the sources specifically deemed dangerous. Given that Holden risked his reputation, maybe even his freedom, to help Audra back then, and then risked his potential relationship with Claire by confessing the truth to her.
Yeah.
Is Holden actually more likely to suffer the consequences of the LA secret than Audra, the person who originally instigated the whole thing? And crucially, knowing that Kyle Abbott is desperate for any kind of ammunition to use against Audra, how quickly will this dangerous criminal information reach him? And what will that power shift look like when it does?
That choice Claire makes, who she tells or doesn't tell.
That choice and the ripple effect from it, that feels like the next big act of the drama we'll absolutely be watching unfold.